Wow. Cause I was reading the line and I'm like, how come it's not making sense? The DJ said to do us? I was like, what? And I was like, I know I'm not tripping. Cause that's like the one typo I've seen in this game so far. Damn, I was like, what? I was like, I know I'm not tripping. Wow. Indeed, Mr. Von Karman has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask, huh? Fine, very well. Mr. Butts, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? This one, she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. Alright, hold up. When... So, hang on. This one, she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. But this is taken after the photo on the lake. This is taken after it became Christmas. And this is almost Christmas. There's a contradiction here. It shows an empty lake taken approximately. But he's saying he heard the gunshot here. Yeah, cause like I was thinking, like the gun was fired 3 times. Like we have accounts of the first 2. Right? No, we don't. We only have accounts of the 1 shot. The gun was fired 3 times though. Because one of the bangs we already deduced was the balloon being shot into the lake, so we pretty much kind of cleared up this deposition here. Or not. It's a mystery. It's like, why, like, we're still on this. Like, why was the gun fired 3 times? Because it took 1 shot to kill Robert Hammond, but we still have 2 shots unaccounted for. Yeah, but this is definitely a contradiction. So I need to call him out on that. I'm just trying to be sure, go over my evidence one more time before I make this decision. 11:50 p.m. Approximately 11:50 p.m. But it's an empty lake though. Deposition 2 shots just after midnight. What's this right here? Oh, DL6. So Larry only heard 1 of the shots. Because they said they heard 2 after midnight. So when did his balloon burst? That's another thing. When did his balloon burst? Was it before midnight? I'm thinking this is it. When his balloon burst, the lake was empty at the time, and that's why the photo went off. Because we gotta go through his testimony, because his testimony is all jacked up right now. It was only on Christmas Eve. So I was listening to a radio show, request. I was listening to a real booming loud light, but then I heard the gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. Well, his testimony is not reflecting that, so I guess we'll get to it in due time. But for right now, we'll call him out on this first contradiction, because I wanted to establish when his balloon burst, like the time frame for that, but I don't have control over that, so I'm just gonna move forward with what I can do. I heard it was almost Christmas, but this is after Christmas that we heard it. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct?
Huh? What's with that face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy.
Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve. That would seem to be the case, yes. But he should have heard that gunshot after midnight. This photograph is irrefutable proof of this fact. Let's see what time it was on the photo taken when the gun triggered Mrs. Todd's camera. 12. Christmas. 15 minutes after midnight. On Christmas Day. This is clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order, I say. Again, I get tired of saying this, but I have to say it because I'm the judge. Everyone shut the fuck up. What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight? However, the witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight.
Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious. He looks like a damn idiot. What'd you say? What'd you say, dude? What?
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim he heard the gunshot before midnight? The gun was fired 3 times. How do we explain those 2 shots? You know? Because there's still 1 bullet. So like Robert got shot once, but the gun went off. Like 2 accounted, like we have 2 accounted times the gun went off. Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight.
Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence. There was a gunshot before midnight.
Shows an empty lake. Yeah, there was a bang went off, and the camera picked up the sound of the gunshot. This is before midnight. Boom, bitch. Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh? But there's nothing on the flick in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why the photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Oh, aha! Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why the photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve. Oh, indeed. It would seem that that is the case. Then, where does that leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard the gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It is a fact that the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were 2 sets of gunshots with a 25-minute pause between them. Why would this be?
Don't be fooled, Judge. He's trying to pull the wool over your eyes. That camera was set to respond to loud noises.
Yes?
See, you're not listening, Judge. There's no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why? The witness could have sneezed and triggered the camera. Hey, my nose was clear as that night, man. Clear. I don't snort that shit no more.
Very well, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 was indeed a gunshot?
Can I?
11:50. Well, the gun was fired 3 times. Yeah, I can. The gun was fired 3 times. Yeah, boom. There was 2 loud bangs after midnight. Yeah, here we go. Heard 2 sounds like a gunshot after midnight. And the shot was also fired before midnight. So yeah, we got proof. We got you, Judge. Please show the court evidence if you have any. The gun. This is what I've been looking to use. This is my evidence. The murder weapon? Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Yeah, it really was. Both of the witnesses who testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. Yes. When then was the last shot fired? Only now I have realized the truth. That the 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight. Yeah. Order! Order, I say. Again. Damn it. I'm gonna start throwing people out of here again. I'm looking at you, man. That man right there in the red shirt. Huh? I didn't do anything again. You're looking to leave this courtroom. Keep it up. I have my eye on you. That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake.
Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why? I ask you, why?
Uh-oh, I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshot separated by 25 minutes. Ah! Oh, what's wrong, Nick? I have it. Huh? Remember the case with the Steel Samurai? Huh? Yeah, of course I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in this case. He wants to set him up. What do you mean? I just said it, Ma. He wants to set him up. Yes? If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edward's guilty verdict. I got a hunch, and I'm going to run with it. Right. I mean, is this safe? Safe. We've already gotten the guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. Just like you said. Yes, it's just like I said, Nick. You just watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay? Right, Nick. I got your back. Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Wright? The testimony just now has cleared up this entire case. Alright, just like I said, you, red shirt, you're out of here. Go out, take him out. No, come on, I'm just playing around. Take him out right now. Damn it. Alright, you, man in the gray shirt, do you want to go next?
No, Your Honor, I didn't do anything either.
Then shut up. What do you mean, Mr. Wright?
So, you finally realized the truth, huh? There can be no other murderer here than Mr. Miles Edgeworth himself.
No. Wrong, Ron Karma. The man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting.
Right. Don't play that with me, boy. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. Think this over. At the time of the murder, one boat was on the lake. This was shown by the witness photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on that boat.
Merry Christmas, nigga.
There was a gunshot fired on that boat, and Robert Hammond fell into that lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter, and it couldn't have been a suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat.
I admit, it is hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the witness... Oh, man. But this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have the photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The timestamp on the photo says 15 minutes after midnight. But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edward could be innocent.
Right. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Or crazy? Insane? What the hell you been smoking? Explain who the two men on the boat are.
The murderer and Hammond. Edgeworth and the murderer. Edgeworth and Hammond. The murderer and Hammond. Now, Edgeworth was on the boat because he picked up the gun. Edgeworth and the murderer. Hang on. When was he killed? Time of death. Sometime on the 24th or 25th. Shot from approximately 1 meter away. It could be either or. When Robert got shot. So there could have been 3 people in the boat. And then one got shot. Nah, but they only found 1 body. Unless the guy got away who shot Robert Hammond. But this photo is the one after midnight though. And we just said that Robert Hammond got shot before that. Damn. We just said that Robert Hammond got shot before midnight. His autopsy puts the time like around that window. This is the only way that Edgeworth can be proven innocent, we just said. So in this photograph was after midnight. So Edgeworth and Hammond. Because we don't know about a third person. So I can only say that it was Edgeworth and Hammond. Because he's probably left-handed. Look at that autopsy again. Yeah, they don't say it's approximate time of death. It's all like skeptical. So I'm like, what was the first? Oh, please. Oh. Let's try to think this over. Yeah, because we don't know about a third person who's on the boat, so that kind of don't make sense. Yeah, it had to have been these two. But like, I don't get the shots. Like when was the shot? I guess it was the last shot that killed Robert Hammond. Because the gun went off 3 times. I'm like, so what happened? Like, he shot the gun in the air to like scare him off. Like maybe they tussled. And then it was self-defense. Like I don't know, but it has to be like these two on the boat. Miles Edgeworth and Robert Hammond.
Yes, I believe you're mad. You're crazy. That's exactly what I've been telling the court this whole time. You're agreeing with me, and yet, what did you just say? That Robert Hammond had been killed 25 minutes before the shot was on the boat.
Yes, that's what I said. I was just testing you, Vana Karma. Mr. Wright, your client has already been declared guilty once. I'm going to have to penalize you for this foolishness. Yeah, I fucked up.
Ah, I'll ask you again. Explain who the 2 men on this boat are.
I guess the murderer. I was right about it, I guess. But it's like, what happened to the murderer then? Like, Edgeworth didn't say anything about it being a third person. That's what threw me off. Like, Edgeworth didn't say anything about a third person. So what, he shot Hammond and like Edgeworth just let him go? Of course it was Edgeworth and the murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth. What? So some asshole killed the man and posed as him to try to kill Edgeworth? So I wasn't wrong saying that it was him and Hammond. Except that Hammond was shot before that though. But like, this is weird. This is weird. So you're saying that like the murderer killed him, threw him in the lake, then went and got Edgeworth and tried to kill him? What? Like, this is just like goofy. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he met. Yes, Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I had a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this.
Ludicrous.
Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. How the fuck do I know the name of the murderer's name? Right, is... We don't know his name. A lot of heart. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. How the fuck will we know? You don't know?
Bah, again, you waste my time. And time is money.
I don't know because he never told us. The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop, that old man. Oh shit. Yanni Yogi. The murderer is the caretaker of that shop, that old man. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There wasn't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? Maybe I suggest that's the real scene of the crime. It was not on the boat. What? Well then, where did the murder take place? Show the judge where the murder took place. He killed him here at the dock. Killed him at the dock and he took the body out there. Around here maybe? Maybe, Mr. Wright. Does this maybe include the reason why the killer would choose that spot? Yes, well, maybe because there is no good reason. Oh, God. The murderer thought we never suspect. Maybe you should try it again. He wasn't even surprised I goofed up. That's a shot, right? I pointed at the boat, but I guess I put the shot. Yeah, I had to choose the shot. Here, of course, the boat shot where he lives. That way he could meet with the victim without anyone seeing.
Did he have proof that the boat shot was seen as the murder?
Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. He's looking for the balloon. That night, he was out on the lake in a boat searching for something. He finds it and returns to the boat. Then just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor. Even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned the boat? The boat shop. Oh shit. This is getting real. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gold Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? Not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning, I take it slow, I just might be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond into his shop. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put Robert Hammond's coat on because he became Robert Hammond. Then he got into the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. Then, who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? The caretaker. Yeah, warning shot. Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. Warning shot. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details.
Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer had fired twice.
To create a witness. He knew Lotto was out in that lake with that camera. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? Yeah, he knew Lotto was out in that lake. The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first shot. Next, the murderer waits a bit, and he fires again. Then... no, he probably swam away, a-hole. The murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. Then Edward picked it up like a dummy. If Edward didn't touch that gun, he would have been straight. He would have been straight. Like, I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men on the boat had been shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice, to draw attention to the boat. Once you realize... Oh, excuse me, Your Honor. Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat on his body and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on Gourd Lake. Damn. Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. Boat shop caretaker, quickly. Alright, was his true identity? Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant, Miles Edgeworth, a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Oh boy. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said, correct? Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night?
What Wright has said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me.
Something important?
I'm sorry. I can't say what it was.
Oh, Your Honor, sir.
Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask that you remain quiet.
The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either.
What?
What should I do?
Find him, quickly. We cannot allow him to get away. And of course he ran, tried to set him up. Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared.
Your Honor, I had nothing to do with that. Your Honor, like, don't put that on me. A search warrant was already been issued.
It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilizes all its forces to find the witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. It's Johnny Yogi, the guy who killed Edward's father. December 27th, 1:22 p.m. District Court, Defendant Library number 2.
Yay, Nick, you did it!
Yeah. Well, at least we got out from under the guilty verdict.
And what about Larry? That was something else. Even when Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony, Larry really helped us out.
Sure, once I shifted through his unique testimony. Sifted, I said shifted, sifted through. Sure, once I sifted through his unique testimony. Still, he did save us. I just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time.
I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients.
Hey, Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth?
What? Did you say something?
Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You could try to smile just a little. Relax.
I'm sorry. But I fear it's not over for me yet.
What do you mean?
Right. there's something that's been troubling me for a long time now. And I don't know whether or not to tell you.
Edward?
No. There's so little time left. I want to tell you to get off my chest, but
Just say it.
I can't make up my mind.
Just say it. What's this all about, Edgeworth?
It's a nightmare I've had. A memory of a crime that I committed.
A crime you committed.
A memory of a murder. To be continued.
And then Yagi only got framed for it, but he got off, so he would be pissed at he would be pissed at Edward for getting off the hook and framing him. Damn, that should be crazy. But alright guys, it's gonna wrap up this episode for today. This episode was crazy, full of drama, comedy, you know how it goes. It's the usual. As always, you know, I gotta do the usual YouTube jabba. Like, subscribe, whatever, all that good jazz. Let me know what your favorite part of the episode was for you, or parts of the story that we're currently on. No spoilers, please. And I'll see you guys around for the next one. Peace.